Memphis Wrestling is back, featuring Dustin and Maria Starr, women's division action, and more. Championship Wrestling from Memphis. Get your tickets now at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com.
Ooh. This episode is brought to you by Spunk Lube. Spunk Lube is the perfect blend of water and silicone. It is an all-purpose personal lubricant that can be used for any occasion. You will love the natural feeling and look of it. It is safe for sensitive skin. Go to spunklube.com and tell them Shootin The Shiznit sent you.
Oh, you didn't know? Well, your ass better, you better tell someone. Tell someone about STSPod.com. Tell them now. Call them. Text them. Tell them. Telegram. Send them video messages. Whatever. Tell them.
All the Right Notes, the first book by Twitter influencer Lance Levine. It's a wild ride down a path of musical adventure that recaps many random run-ins with rock royalty, such as U2, Slash, The Ramones, The Goo Goo Dolls, and many more. And all the crazy occurrences that have happened to him that trace back to music. All the Right Notes is 209 pages, sure to bring a smile to your face and to remind you how much music has probably touched your life as well.
All the Right Notes, available now on Amazon in paperback for $14.99 and on Kindle for all you tech warriors for $9.99. Also at local Chicago bookstores, as well as Rolling Stone Records on Harlem and Irving. If you can't find it, ask for it by name. All the Right Notes by Lance Levine. And I have been told I could not put it down. I read it all in one day. So order it now and see what all the fuss is about.
Shootin the Shiznit, Shootin the Shiznit, best little wrestling podcast in the business. Your host BT, and always guest. You'll never know who he'll have next. Shootin the Shiznit, Shootin the Shiznit, best little wrestling podcast in the business. Shootin the Shiznit.
Oh, yeah, we're live from STS Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Honey, I'm doing a show right now.
With the one and only who's getting people calling in right now as we're talking.
I know the sex was good. I know. But I'm not doing a show right now, honey. I'll do it to you again. We're live?
Oh, yeah. Starmaker both.
I was just trying to have a little conversation with one of my 14 girlfriends there. I'm sorry. I can't give the ranking because if she knows where she ranks, she might bow up on me one day.
Well, we are on live Facebook, so she might be watching. So we don't want to tell her what's going on or what ranking she's at. How the hell are you, Kenny?
I'm miserable. Absolutely miserable. Yeah. I know you would think with Trump being out of office and Biden running the show now and the big fireworks show held by Katy Perry the other day that I'd be in a great, but I'm miserable. This is fucked up. What's the language like on this show? Can you say what you want?
Say anything you want to there.
This is fucked up. I mean, I'm looking around. I'm on StreamYard. This is my deal. This is the bowling alley. I thought there's your logos everywhere. I don't see anything with me around here except on my screen. My name's on there, thank God. People might not know who I am. And I'm on the right-hand side of the screen. I'm never on the right-hand side. I'm always on the left-hand side. What the hell is going on here, man?
Confused as hell on this, guys.
I don't know how to act. And the dogs, by the way, always wait for the show to start before they start having anal during the show. There they go. There it is. They know when the camera's on. They lay there and don't do shit. But when the cameras roll, the show is on. You're going to see all kinds of porno in the background tonight because they're my gay dogs. little boy dogs.
Well, I'm glad we do support the gays here on Shootin'.
Well, there you go. See, and now I feel at home. As long as we're supporting the gays, blacks, Mexicans, Latinas, everything except old white people that are racist. We don't support those too well. What state do you live in?
I'm living in Arkansas.
They're going to kick you out of that state if you're supporting gays, blacks, Latinas, and Mexicans. They'll kick you out of that state. They run you out of there like Frankenstein.
We got James. We got saying howdy, folks. There you go. Hey, James.
Now this is screwed up because that's my director of my show. See, now it feels like my show. That's JJ Arwood.
JJ, all
that's
right.
JJ.
And we got
Chris Smith. That's my guy. That's
JJ.
my. See, this is all my fans. This is the bowling alley. I knew it.
Good deal. Thanks,
now,
guys.
This is another thing fucking with me is I can't see the comment. That's private chat. Let me click comment. Can I see them?
You should be able to right there.
Oh, there they are. There they are. Okay, I see them. Well, everybody in here is my people right now.
Well, if you got any questions, guys, throw them up. But I did get a couple questions. Number one, I want to talk about this, Kenny, as soon as we get started. Have you heard the news about the Kroger scam? Have you heard the Kroger scam?
I've been hearing about the Kroger scam since 1987.
No, wait. Not your Kroger scam.
Oh, not mine? Another one, huh? Yeah. I have gotten about 50 links to that in my email. People write me, letting me know that this guy made $1 million. So I said, no, I didn't make $1 million. I made some money, but I didn't make no $1 million. I had some weeks I was making, good God, I'm scared to say I might owe taxes. I was making a couple of dollars. And this guy, they got him for like $1 million from what I read. And I tried to claim that I didn't make $1 million. Well, somebody wrote me back and they said, Kenny, when you factor in the conversion rate from 1987 to now, you probably got like 3 million. I said, oh shit, I didn't even look at it that way.
Well, if we got some people that's on my Facebook page that think, what is he talking about? Tell us what you did or what you allegedly did.
I allegedly did?
Yeah.
The double your money back?
Yeah, tell us about double your money back. Kroger.
Well, see, that's where everybody screws it up because it's not double your money back. It was quadruple your money back. What businessman would just base it on double your money back and just be happy with that? Not me. It was quadruple your money back. What you do, we did it by accident. We bought some hamburger. And we had, 5 or 6 pounds of hamburger we was going to make with chili. It was like $1.99 a pound back then. As a matter of fact, you can get it for that now if you do a little shopping. Not as a rule, $3 to $5, $6 a pound, depending where you buy your ground beef, what grade you get. But back then, $1.99 a pound. Go to the store. I was supposed to get back $12, and Gabrielle comes back out and hands me like $26, $27. And I said, well, why are you giving me $27? I said, did you mix your money in with this? She says, no, that's what they gave me. They said something about if you're not happy with their meat, you get double your money back. Plus the Tennessee sales tax, which was 8.75% back then. I don't know what it is now, probably close to the same. I said, holy shit. So we go through thinking we're going to get $12 back. 1987, $12 will buy you a little bit. $27, $28 buy you a lot more. I said, Gab, I got an idea. I said, so if you're not happy with the meat for any reason, you can bring it back and you get double your money back. She says, yep. I said, shit. All right. So I got an idea. So we went to Kroger the next day, allegedly, and we bought pork loins. These big ass pork loins would go anywhere from $90 to $135. And I would buy them. She said, why are we buying that much pork loins? I said, well, the rule is if you don't like it, you get double your money back. I said, well, I don't like pork loins, but we'll give it a try. So we take the pork loins home and we cut from the middle and we cook up a shitload of pork loins, have the neighbors over. So we feed the neighbors, feed ourselves. And I look at Gabrielle and say, you know what? I don't think I was happy with those pork loins. I think we're going to have to take those back. She says, really? You didn't like them? She said, you ate them fast enough. I said, no, I wasn't satisfied. I said, the thing is, you got to be 100% satisfied. That's what Alex the meat guy says. I said, well, let's go to Kroger. Let's get these returned. So I put one half of the meat in one bag with the receipt, allegedly. And then I put the other half in another bag with the package. So when you return it, you have to return the package and the meat to the store you bought it at. You don't even have to have the receipt. You walk in, hey, I bought this earlier today. Here's the package. Can't find the receipt. We don't like this. And you don't even act like you know anything about double your money meat back. So you hand it to them. It was $136. Oh, Jesus, you got to be kidding me. Let me see. Prince, you're interrupting the Shootin The Shiznit show. What can I do for you?
Well, that Shiznit should have been shot in the back of the head 5 years ago from what I heard about it.
This is his 400th show. I've done 100, 200, 300, 400, and I'm booked for 5, 6, 7, 8, and 900. He's not booking me for the 1,000. He says I won't be alive.
I can't believe that he said that many people watched this and keep it going that long. It's kind of like that other show that guy did where nobody watched him. It's kept going anyway.
Everybody in the room is a Bolin fanatic, but he's I don't. Yeah, these are Facebook people. Yeah. Everybody in here right now is a Bolinite.
How many of these people are there? Like, how many viewers did this guy possibly get?
I don't know. How many views you average, Shiznit? How many views? The Prince is curious. How many viewers you average?
We just got started, but you're looking about 300 when we got started.
About 300. You know, I only see 4 in here. Why do I only see 4?
I'm not sure. I'm talking about average views and everything.
Oh, average view. I got you. All right. Well, that's not the 36,000 I average a week, but hey, you know, you're working your way up.
That's right. We just got started, brother.
Just got started. This is my first live show with Shootin The Shiznit. All the others have been audio.
You just got 30, done 400 fucking shows.
Well, he means video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Either way, congratulations on 400 shows that combined no one has ever seen.
Shiznit, he's shooting on you.
Hey,
He's shooting on the Shiznit.
What about this, Prince? You're not gonna get on the show anyway, so fuck off, okay? Nobody cares what you got to say. I got your daddy on here.
Oh Jesus! I'm glad I got my headphones on and you can't hear the horrible things that Shiznit is saying about you. It's terrible.
Oh, I'm sure it really cuts deep. I'm sure it stinks.
All right, man. Just my child just to come in here and just start burying people for no fucking reason.
That's all right. So I got a question about the Kroger thing, and I've always wondered about this, and I never.
So it basically was quadruple your money back with Tennessee tax. So if you spend $130, you'd get back over $500. Good investment on your money. There's not a bank in America that'll give you a return like that.
How could you keep doing it though, Kenny? How did they not just say?
Have you seen how many Krogers there are?
You never went to another Kroger. You just kept going to a different Kroger doing the gimmick.
Oh no! After about 3 or 4 months, you could go back again. So I had Kroger. I had a territory. I was running it like Nick Goulas did. I had all of Kentucky, all of Tennessee, the northern portion of Atlanta. I went over into Knoxville. And that was pretty much my territory. Do you know how many Krogers are in all those goddamn stores or all those areas? It's endless. I had 5. I could step out my door and be in 5 different Krogers in 5 minutes, depending what direction I went. And that was back before the days of security cameras and shit. If you had a credit card, you had to run it through a little machine. There was no scanners. They go through a machine. I shouldn't admit this, but I found a credit card on the side of the road once, got a new set of tires with it. It was a brand new card and they didn't have the scanners. I just went in and said, yeah, I need some new tires. And they just ran it through that little thing. I don't even know if you're old enough to know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Yeah. You remember?
What was, do you know what this guy was doing? This guy got, he just got greedy, Kenny. Yeah. If this guy would have stowed himself, maybe $500 a week, I don't even know if they would have even noticed it.
I haven't read the story. I just saw he got them for $1 million. Give me the.
He started putting money on credit cards. He would and as if somebody, came in and wanted something, so he would put the refund on a credit card for it.
Oh,
and so
but that's bound to catch up with you eventually.
Yeah, and then you start seeing some of these. You see some of them where a couple $100, and all of a sudden, I think I seen one where it said he did one for $87.
Okay,
$87,000. Let me get.
He did What the fuck got refunded for $87,000?
That's right, and then you don't have any merchandise or anything.
Yeah, and there's no merchandise to back it up. That's just fucking ridiculous. I mean, if you're going to be a criminal, be a good one, for crying out loud. No, there are so many fucking Krogers in that 3-state region, and I think even just to be on the safe side, sometimes I go on down to Macon, and if you played your cards right, you could make $2,000 in a day. So if you wanted to start early in the morning, work late at night, and do all the Krogers, and by the time you rotated back to all the Krogers, you had to be gone a reasonable amount of time to have cut in the pork loins and cooked them and not liked them. So it would be a 9 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night deal, to do it right. But if you did that, allegedly, you could make a couple of grand a day. But you couldn't do it all the time. You had to give time for the stores to settle. But my rule is you never hit the same store twice within 3 months. Go back 90 days later, they don't even give a fuck. And that lasted, allegedly, 87 to 92, about 5 years.
Right.
I was working for Nick Goulas at the time. That's why I had to do it. Nick wasn't paying me enough. $75 a show wasn't cutting it. Even though I was told I was getting $50 more than anybody else because I did everything. I was the host of the show. on the did the interviews, booked the towns, booked the buildings, worked ring announcer, timekeeper, manager. First wrestler I ever managed was Tojo Yamamoto in Birmingham, Alabama, 1987. I never did the Kroger thing in Alabama, by the way, just to clear that state off the record books. Never did Alabama. We got any questions from anybody? Because the only people I see are my main guys that watch me on my show. That's all I can see. I don't know why.
Whew. Dog's excited about something there.
They stay excited. Calm down, hound dogs. That's Tucow and Scooby, by the way. You know the dog.
Somebody wrote in. They said, "Hey BT, I don't watch a lot of Kenny stuff, so I want to know. Know this. Question is, what's going on with you and Corny right now? You still broke up, or your relationship so bad, or
still broke up?
To him, or
not dating him anymore? I'm dating new people, spreading the wealth." Dating my 14 Filipino girls, all 14 of them. None of them know about each other, so don't let this get out anywhere.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial. We are here.
No, we're not. I don't have commercials on my show.
We're going to go straight to Patreon. You'll get to hear the
what? Patreon?
On Patreon.
What a ripoff this is. The people don't get the king for free.
Memphis Wrestling is back, featuring Dustin and Maria Starr, women's division action, and more. Championship Wrestling from Memphis. Get your tickets now at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com.
Ooh. This episode is brought to you by Spunk Lube. Spunk Lube is the perfect blend of water and silicone. It is an all-purpose personal lubricant that can be used for any occasion. You will love the natural feeling and look of it. It is safe for sensitive skin. Go to spunklube.com and tell them Shootin The Shiznit sent you.
Hey, if you're stuck in the house and still want to order food, go with Uber Eats. That's right. Download Uber Eats on your favorite device. Get $7 off your first order by using this code EATS-BRIANT24790UE. That's EATS-BRIANT24790UE. Hey, want to thank our sponsors. This is going to be the perfect time before we get back to Kenny. Let's bring my old buddy Lance on here.
So Manscaped, Happy New Year for Manscaped. They are the best in men's below the waist, not above the waist, although there's some of us that get it mistaken. So best below the waist grooming offering, precision engineered tools for your family jewels, tools for the jewels. They're here to help you with clean balls to ring in the new year. So ring in the new year with the right tools for that job.
All right. So happy 2021. And spoiler alert. Oh, this is a spoiler alert, Lance. Hairy nuts are still gross. Step into the new year with the tree standing taller and shave your boys. Hey, did you notice that? It looks like the tree's taller, man, when you shave your boys.
Just a little bit taller. So, okay.
Manscaped is here to give you a New Year's resolution that you actually want to keep. The Perfect Package 3.0 is the below-the-waist grooming package you need to start off strong this year.
So come out of quarantine with clean balls. We got to say balls about 75 times in this. Thanks to the Lawnmower 3.0. This waterproof, skin-safe trimmer will reduce nicks, not Stevie Nicks, to your two best friends. Third generation trimmer even has a light to shine in the promised land of 2021 looking to be. So it's also time to freshen up down there for the new year. The Crop Preserver is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You
That's
already put
stuff.
I know. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why not put them on the smelliest part of your body too? So, and for on-the-go freshness, get this. You'll love the Crop Reviver. It's a ball toner spray. Not toner like ink, not black ink on your balls. It's a toner spray.
Just a couple of sprays makes you feel fresh there. Start the new year.
Like a spritz.
Start the new year with a fresh set of testes, thanks to Manscaped. Manscaped even threw in their shed travel bag to keep all your goodies stored comfortably. Speak of comfort, the Manscaped anti-chafing.
Anti-chafing. Yes, anti-chafing. Yes.
Boxer briefs are also included. Man, I love those things. And bring you underwear game to the next level. Bring sexy back in 2021 and tell us how, Lance.
You can get 20% off and free shipping. That is big with the code STSPod, right?
That's STSPod. That's right.
STSPod at manscaped.com. That's manscaped.com. And your balls, your testes, your nuts, all the adjectives and the synonyms that we used in here will thank you.
That's right. 20% off, free shipping with the code STSPod at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code STSPod. New year, new balls.
New balls.
Steve Crawford got in a little late. Any good stories about Tojo? Well, he's going to have to hear them on Patreon, I guess, isn't he?
Oh no, the whole episode will actually go up, but only the video you only get to see on Patreon.
Oh, the video is only.
Tell me, yeah, we didn't get any good stories about Tojo.
Yeah, Tojo. I was assigned to him by Nick Goulas when I first started doing the interviews and everything, and it really kind of happened by accident. I showed up in Birmingham, Alabama, exclusively to be the ring announcer. So that night, a couple of people didn't show up. They had no timekeeper. They had no ring announcer and nobody to manage the bad guy against Gypsy Joe that night. It was Tojo scheduled against Gypsy Joe in the main event at the Armory in Birmingham, Alabama. And so they says, Kenny, of course we need your ring announcing tonight, but can you timekeep? I said, well, I don't have a watch. So Tojo gave me his watch. He had a beautiful Seiko watch. So I got Tojo's watch to keep time with. And he says, now remember, if it's one fall with a 15-minute time limit, you shave 3 minutes off the 15. The matches won't go 12 minutes. I said, I thought that was a television thing. He says, no, we do it on the live shows too. So people think they got 15, but they only got 12. I said, all right. I said, well, I'll shave some. I said, well, every minute, every 5 minutes, I'll shave a minute. When I say 5 minutes gone by, it'll be 4. And that way you'll know. So I was the timekeeper, I was the ring announcer, and then it gets time for the main event, and we go back, take our break, and Tojo says, Mr. Guinea Bolin, I need a manager tonight. I said, well, yeah. I said, that's why I got in this business is to manage. I said, but they needed me for ring announcing and timekeeping tonight. Main event, you do all 3. I said, what? He says, main event, you do all 3. You introduce me and Gypsy Joe. You, my horrible fake Japanese accent. Then you step outside the ring and announce yourself as the timekeeper, and then you manage me. I said, well, how am I going to do that? He says, every 5 minutes you give us the time, and the rest of the time you manage me. He said, you're friends with Jimmy Cornette, right? Mr. Jimmy Cornette? I said, yeah. He says, well, do what he does. I said, well, I don't really want to do exactly what Jimmy does, but I'll do my best, Tojo. I'll do what I can. So he loved it. He let me keep the watch because Goulas didn't pay me that night. I didn't get paid till like 3 days later. They was paying all the boys. We had an agreement of $75 a show. I said, 75. I said, I did everything tonight. I was ring announcer, timekeeper, manager. I said, I should get 3 $75 payoffs tonight. It was my first show ever in the business. I'm demanding fucking big payoffs, more than what most of the wrestlers were getting. So Tojo gave me his watch. He said, no, Mr. Bolin, you earn your money tonight. Here, you keep that watch. I get another one. I got more at home. So he gave me a Seiko watch, and that's pretty much how the first night went with Tojo Yamamoto. And he adored Chris. He used to come over to the house. Gabrielle thought he was very lonely because he was always coming over, always hanging out, having dinner. He had his fair share of pork loins, trust me. And he didn't get none of the money, though. He just got to eat the free pork loins. And he would take Chris in the living room and go, Banzai! Banzai. And we never knew what Banzai meant. And I said, Tojo, what's Banzai mean? Every time you pick him up, you yell that. He said, Banzai means victory. So I hope he's right because I never looked it up. But he said, Banzai means victory. And he would pitch Chris in the air. And Chris was pretty new then. He wasn't even fucking a few months old. And Chris would laugh his ass off. And he'd pitch him in the air. And Chris would just Gabrielle was panicking. She was a very overprotective mother. And I was just about as bad myself. But it was Tojo. You don't tell Tojo not to pitch your baby in the air. You just let him do it.
So he dropped Chris on his head.
He dropped Chris on his head, and that explains
everything
that's going on now. Yeah, he dropped Chris on his head several times, to be honest with you.
Hey, you talk about money and everything, and we all
I do.
know that
I talk about money. Yeah,
we thought the Ghoulists were legendary for paying such high amount of money. But you was involved with Ohio Valley. You had all these WWE guys working. And this is going inside.
Yeah.
How did all that work? Who wrote the check? Who wrote the check for you? Who wrote the check for the WWE guys? Did y'all have to pay them extra? Did you get a salary?
No.
How did all that work?
Well, at first, I didn't have a technical salary because I was under the OVW umbrella. But once it was assumed that I was to train, manage, and develop the bad guys, well, not necessarily train them. That was supposed to be under Danny Davis's and Rip Rogers' umbrella, even though
you did train them to do interviews and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
I trained them to do interviews, how to get over in matches, how to be a heel. It was my job to teach them to be a heel. And even John Cena, in an interview in Germany back in 2007 or 2008, something like that, someone was asking, they said, who taught you the most about wrestling, the wrestling business? Was it Jimmy Cornette or Danny Davis? And he said, neither one. And they said, really? They said, well, that's who you were trained by. He says, no. He says, I learned how to be a heel from Kenny Bolin. He says, I didn't use everything there that I should have because I was too busy cracking jokes on Kenny because I like getting the laughs. He said, but that was the wrong way to do it. He says Rico would hug Kenny and they'd pray together, even though Kenny's an atheist. They knew how to work with each other. And I blew it. He says, I was too busy trying to get laughs by making references to Kenny being fat and just whatever, so I would get the laughs insulting Kenny, which would actually turn me babyface a little bit because now I got the crowd laughing at me and I did it wrong. He said, I should have worshiped Kenny the way that Rico did. He said, but when I got to the WWE, I finally understood what Kenny was doing. He said, because a lot of times I thought everything Kenny did was a shoot, that he was trying to take all of us for money. He was trying to rip all of us off and all this shit. But Rico will tell you, man, that I took care of the boys. I made sure they had free movies to go to, that they had free food. Anytime they hung out with me, if they were baby faces, I'd set them up to go to dinner first and then we would go later or vice versa. But we always took care of the top baby faces too. Especially the ones that had a lower contract. The pay was divvied up by WWE. They got a check. I don't know if it was every 2 weeks or every month. I think it was bi-weekly. And whatever their contract was, the least contract any of the guys had was the developmental talent that wasn't necessarily under contract, but they were working with the contract guys. They would get a little money. They'd get like $250 a week, $1,000 a month, little something more than they were getting. And they all had regular jobs anyway. And the developmental guys at the bottom was $500 a week. The next tier of guys was getting $750. And then your Brock Lesnar's, Big Show's, and Mark Henry. Henry was making $400,000 a year then, give or take. Big Show was making $900,000 a year. And they said that Brock Lesnar came in making over $200,000 a year. And, of course, he got let go when him and Jimmy got into it in the parking lot, and Jimmy threatened to shoot his knees for sticking his fingers in Sin's vagina.
We actually had that on an episode, and it was called Jim Cornette, Brock Lesnar, and a Vagina episode.
Yeah, that was the episode. I remember seeing that. I remember seeing it on Twitter and retweeting that thing. I remember that.
Well, tell us. So it was all divvied up. Did you actually sign a contract, or were you?
Never did. Never did.
OVW paid.
Never did. My money, I wasn't even getting paid technically by OVW at first. And then I started bringing in so much advertising money and personal appearance money. And Jimmy said, he says, you don't even need a paycheck from us. He says, you're smart enough and talented enough and you're a professional salesman. And of course, he'd call me a con man. But he says, you can write your own paycheck here. He says, we need advertisers for the show. I'll make sure Danny pays you what you got when you were selling cookware, which was 34%. Well, Danny was furious. He didn't want to pay. He wanted to pay me like 20%. I said, you're out of your goddamn mind. I said, this is found money. And, he would die every time he'd have to cut me a check.
Right.
And I'd have 4 banners hanging in the wall at $5,000 for the 4 banners. So there's 5,000. Well, 34% of that. Let's get the amount. Computer. What is 34% of 5,000?
34% of 5,000 is 1,700.
Okay, so Danny's getting $5,000 a month, but he's having to cut me a check for $1,700. He's fucking dying. I can't believe I'm fucking paying you this much.
But Kenny, who did that? Who else did that?
Nobody.
Did stuff
Nobody.
like that. No,
Absolutely
not at all.
nobody. I was the one-man booking agent for the fucking advertising on the show. And that's how they
was $1,700 in what year? What year was
96. Well, 96, we didn't have that big of advertising. We were making maybe $2,000 a month in advertising, but our wall would only hold 4 banners. So
right.
$5,000 is all I could bring in banners because that's all our wall would hold. But that's when we got creative and the WWE guys started coming in 99. We started selling personal appearances with the sponsors. And if they had a big enough sponsorship deal with us, they got 1 free appearance every 3 months from a WWE star. So they would pay big money to do that.
This is one of the big guys. So when you bring in Kane, if you bring in, you're doing a personal appearance.
Not necessarily Kane. We would feature those guys on the Louisville Garden shows, the Kane, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker. We could provide them then, but that was once every 3 months at the Louisville Gardens. And yeah, there was big fucking money in that. And I got 30% of that as well, 34%, if I booked sponsors. And you would sponsor a WWE star at the Louisville Gardens. Like Bootleg Barbecue would sponsor Big Show. Well, Paul Miller Ford and Star Ford were our biggest sponsors. So they would pay $5,000 to be sitting at a table with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
Or they paid $10,000 to be at the table with whatever the prices were. I think $10,000 is the most we got. And I think, in all honesty, I think for whatever reason, Austin got $8,000 because that was the first offer we got and we took it. And then we got $10,000 for Undertaker. We got $5,000 for Kane. We got $3,000 for Big Show and $2,000 for Mark Henry because Henry was there every week. So they knew they was getting Big Show and Henry, but so they would have a spot at the autograph table before the Louisville Garden shows. They would still cough up money, even if it was one of our stars, to have a seat at the table to be seen getting pictures with Steve Austin, Undertaker, Kane, Gangrel, or whoever the hell we had down at that time. Chris Jericho, of course. So yeah, we got a lot of mileage out of those guys. So once every 3 months, I could promise the sponsors a rub with people like the Taker, Kane, Chris Jericho, people like that. So yeah, I was making. Jimmy figured up that he said everything that you get in free shit, cash, merchandise, and what you make in commissions, he says you're probably making somewhere between 100 and 150 grand a year. Well, I didn't see it that way, but free cars. I mean, hell, I had free cars for fucking 15 years.
Wow.
I'd drive a car for 2 years, take it back to the dealer, they give me another one, and that went on for a long time.
Except for Brock, who everyone, has their bad things to say, but except for Brock.
Everybody's got something. Supposedly Brock likes me now.
Okay.
Every time he's down, he sends me a hello, and I keep wondering he's just setting me up so he can get me in an alley somewhere for all the shit I've said about him. But
so tell me, of all those guys, the big Randy Orton, Brock, we're gonna subtract Brock from this. Tell me who was the asshole, Kenny? Who was a total asshole? Wouldn't do anything y'all wanted him to do. He hated Kenny Bolin. He said "fuck you" to Cornette.
That list is longer than you'd realize. Actually, Big Show said "fuck you, Kenny Bolin."
Oh my God!
Yeah, he said "fuck you, Kenny Bolin." We were supposed to do an appearance at the Louisville Motor Speedway. And it was me and Big Show. I was the face of the company because I was broadcasting for God knows how long. Then I started managing all the bad guys. And Danny said, Kenny Bolin's the face of the company. This is who we build the company around. You guys will come and go. Kenny Bolin will always be here. He doesn't want to leave his son. He's not worried about being in WWE. If they'd offered a shitload of money, I mean, me and Chris would have had to come to some type of agreement, but there was no offer made because WWE was loaded with managers and they weren't using any of them. They had Cornette, they had Bobby Heenan, they had Jimmy Hart, they had Mr. Fuji, they had Downtown Bruno, they had Captain Lou Albano, and the other guy that was redhead, I can't think of his name. He was kind of like Captain Lou, but if I heard his name, I'd know it, but I can't think of it.
Sir Oliver Humperdinck?
Sir Oliver Humperdinck, yeah. So they had all those guys under contract and Cornette at the same time, using none of them. So who the fuck am I to say, well, let me be the manager up there? And you got all these fucking legends other than Downtown Bruno. You got all these legends up there and now Kenny Bolin. But Jerry Jarrett told me not long ago, a couple weeks ago. He says, Kenny, you don't realize it. He says, I know that you like to respect everybody in the business, but you were the one that got screwed. He says, you, in your own way, because of your originality, you're not like those other guys. He says, Bobby Heenan, as good as he was, you do shit that Bobby Heenan doesn't do. Jimmy Cornette stuff, everyone knows where it come from. It's all prepared. It's all written. It's all memorized. And everybody knows what Cornette's going to say 5 minutes before he says it, because he said it 1,000 times over his 30 years in the business. No one knows what's going to come out of your mouth unless you're quoting one of the old greats. He says, but your originality is way better than any of those. You can't be pinned down. That's why you do these shows live. That's why you don't worry about what questions you're going to be asked, because he said, you have the quickest wit and can come up with the damnedest shit that can make people hate you in 20 seconds. And he said, that's a rare talent. And he says, you should have made way more money. And he said, I don't even know what you made, but you should have made way more than you got. And he said, if you'd been with me, if Cornette had actually introduced you to me, he says, I'm pissed at Cornette because he cost me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And the money I could have made with the natural heat that you two could have developed with each other. And he says, guess what? He says, Cornette would have been the babyface. He says, you're a better heel than Cornette. Everyone thinks Cornette's a great heel. Jimmy would have had to have been the babyface. And as you noticed, when we did our television career, Jimmy was the babyface. He was never heel with me.
Right.
He was always the babyface. And because that's just the way that would have worked the best. It would have been hard for me to babyface on Jimmy. And to Jimmy's credit, Jimmy could do it. Jimmy could be the baby face and take the side of the people. And Kenny, you're a fuck face. And, all this. I couldn't have done the baby face thing as good as Jimmy did. And that's the God's honest truth. So I know it sounds like I'm shitting on Jimmy every now and then. And only because he did not want to compete with me in managing. He didn't want that shit going on at the same time unless he was writing every word of it. And had we been in WWE together or Smoky Mountain, he'd have had to step back a little bit because he owned the company, and he didn't want to do that. He wanted to be the feature in everything. And WCW, he didn't even want me meeting Bischoff. He didn't want me meeting Vince McMahon. And once they met me and found out I was real, they're going, God damn, what have we been doing? Why did we not make money? And Jerry Jarrett was the most pissed of all of them. He says, Kenny, he didn't. And Bill Dundee told me, he says, Kenny, why didn't you come to me? I'd have helped you get into business back then. He says, I said, well, I thought either Jerry Lawler or Cornette was going to help me. And I said, neither one of them did. I said, if I had not bumped into Nick Goulas in the service merchandise in late 1986, early 87, it would have never happened. I'd have never had a door to get in because for some reason Cornette didn't want me in. And I think Cornette convinced Lawler not to get me in. And I don't even know the reason why, other than jealousy. That he thought I'd have been, and he told me that when he blew his knees out, because I wanted to manage the Midnight Express. I said, hey, this is perfect. You're going to be out 6 to 12 weeks with your knees. Why don't you let me come in, manage the Midnight Express? And when you come back, the Midnight ain't so fucking eager to go. You're forced to get another tag team. We feud for a while, make some fucking money. And then when it's all said and done, you fuck me in the end. Not you fuck me, but the Midnight fucks me. It was all a setup from the get-go. And the Midnight fucks me. You and the Midnight's back together. Now my foot's in the door. I get my own team. He says, no, not going to happen. I said, well, you're not even going to recommend for me to manage the Midnight as your best friend that's known you your whole fucking life? He says, nope. I said, why is that? He said, because if I do, I won't get my job back. I said, how the fuck can you say that? He says, because you are as good or better than I am, and they will see that. And this is what he said. He can say anything he wants. This is what he said. And you will work cheaper than I will. Now, Jimmy told me he was making $400,000 a year with WCW. One of his wrestlers, I won't say who, one of his wrestlers said that's a lie. He says, as a matter of fact, we negotiated Jimmy's deal because they wanted to pay him half of what we were getting. And I said, and this person said, no, Jimmy gets what we get. We're a team. We all get the same thing. I was led to believe that Jimmy negotiated the deal for all three. This member of the Midnight Express, one of the original members, said, nope, I negotiated the deals and we were not getting $400,000 a year. We were getting $200,000. I said, well, ain't it like Jimmy to make everything twice as big as what it really is?
Right. Hey, man, let's end it up here, but I want you to
end it up. I do 3-hour podcasts, son.
But we're the best little wrestling podcast in the business.
But I'm the best big podcast in the business.
Put your shit over. Tell people how to get to you, brother.
Well, I live here on Cherokee Road. You just
no.
Oh, not that way. Yo, you don't want me to give my personal address and invite people over for a big
that.
pizza
You
party?
never know.
Well, they might. You never know. I'm a popular man here. To keep up with me, see me, please tune into the Bolin Alley. It's easy to find. Just type in the Bolin Alley on YouTube. It'll pop up. We do shows just about every Tuesday night at 7:05 p.m. Sometimes we go a little earlier to accommodate the guest. Facebook / Starmaker Bolin. Twitter at Starmaker Bolin. Instagram Starmaker Bolin, Bolin. I'm on all those things, but I'm on Facebook the most. That's where my people are. That's where I make the most money other than YouTube. Most people that watch the show, they do super chats. They donate to me helping feed the Filipino flood victims and the Louisville metro area homeless. And of course, helps me too. But we help everybody. I got people I send receipts to. Trust me, I donate way more than I make. And appreciate your support. I got great fans. I got 7 fans. He's got 5. So that's 12 altogether. That ain't bad.
There we go.
The best big podcast altogether. But that's how you find me. And the Bolin Alley is all over YouTube. I think we've done 1,010, 1,012 episodes in our history. And over 2 billion downloads when you count all the podcasts I've done, counting Shootin The Shiznit. He put us over the 2 billion mark last time.
Right on. Hey guys, same bad time, same
wrong.
bad channel. On the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as Kenny knows and everyone else knows, I love my mama. Did you enjoy that episode? Cash App us, that's right. $BTSTS. Cash App us $1, $2. If you Cash App us over $12, I'll give you 1 year of Patreon for free.
Graphic design is very important. Your logo is the first image potential customers see. What kind of impression would you want to make today? Need a podcast logo or a t-shirt design? KT does art. Her name has become synonymous with quality and professionalism in the graphic design community. She specializes in graphic design, painting, and more. She provides affordable commissions and professional quality with a timely delivery. Contact KT via email at kt_doesart@yahoo.com. Check out her Instagram at instagram.com/kt_doesart.
Hey, that was another great episode of Shootin The Shiznit. We're currently looking for contestants for Who Wants to Be the Best Shiznitter Ever Championship 2021. A shout out to our sponsors this month, and also we have Patreon. It is only $1 at www.patreon.com/shootintheshiznit without a G. A big thank you and a shout out to Bob McGee at Pro Wrestling Between the Sheets and Gene Jackson at localstolegends.com. You can reach us on Twitter at comicbookmarkbt, Instagram BT Shootin The Shiznit without a G, Facebook Shootin The Shiznit with a G, and we're also at Cool Kids Wrestling and MMA Talk. You gotta ask to get in. If we don't like you, we'll kick you out. That's right. And you can get all the archives to all the episodes at www.stspod.club. All right, let's do a roll call of my favorite podcast. So my favorite non-wrestling podcast would be Who's Right Podcast, Po Boys Podcast, The Official Podcast, Man Brain Podcast, My Favorite Murder Podcast, I Am Fat Podcast, and my buddies over there, Richard Josh at P3 Radio. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. And remember, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.